Hey guys, it's Jaden here, back with another Ultra Shortcut theory. Today we're going to be looking at Luigi Circuit. Now, Luigi Circuit definitely seems like it's one of the least likely tracks to have an Ultra Shortcut, just based on how short it is, but there's already been a substantial amount of progress made on this track. I am using a different mod than usual today. It's called Future Fly. It allows me to be a lot more maneuverable, so I can explain my ideas a lot more clearly. Now, the first step to any Ultra Shortcut, as we know, is getting out of bounds, and there already is one location that can be used to do this, and it is this edge of the cliffside right here. It can be clipped off of to get over the invisible wall, which for some reason is just a little bit lower than anywhere else on the track right here. Now, as you can see, this is still quite a ways away from the start line, and just due, again, to how short the track is, it's very unlikely that this could be used to save any time, unless the strategy similar to Mario Raceway was used, where you, instead of going back to the start line, you've just finished out the lap normally, hugging the inside of the wall here without clipping back in bounds, and then doing the Ultra Shortcut at the beginning of lap 2, so that way it could be used for a fast lap record. Now, something else that could open a lot of opportunities in this track is getting out of bounds on the other side of the track, which has not been proven to be possible yet. And there is a couple of points of interest here that could be used. One of them are these Luigi kart signs found throughout the track. Although they don't have collision on top of them, they do have collision underneath them, although it's highly unlikely that could ever be used for anything productive. The more likely thing, and the much more intriguing area, is this Luigi statue right over here, which actually has collision that sticks a little bit in bounds. Now, I do have a visual to help show this. That pink bit that juts through the invisible wall is the statue, actually. And I'm not sure this could be used to clip over the invisible wall, or just clip through the invisible wall, if it's like a horizontal wall or something like that. But nonetheless, it's pretty interesting. I'll try to show this for you right now, see if I can hit it using the Future Fly. Yeah, there you go. So you see there's a little bit of collision that sticks out of bounds. I'm not sure it's enough to actually get out of bounds with it, but I thought it was worth pointing out nonetheless. Now I'm going to skip ahead to the next portion of the Ultra Shortcut, where we've traveled out of bounds all the way to the start line, which I don't know if I mentioned this, but that has been proven to be possible as well. You can go the entire perimeter of the track, hugging the edge of the wall without clipping back in bounds. So I'll see you then. Okay, as you can see here, I managed to wedge myself into the wall right next to the start line. But before I try to go on and explain how an Ultra Shortcut might actually work, there's one gigantic thing I need to clear up. So, in every track, there is a gigantic plane below the track that will detect you out of bounds and respawn you. The unique thing about Luigi Circuit is that this plane actually has collision, similar to the darker sand in Desert Hills or the darker grass in Mario Raceway, meaning that you can interact with it, but it will instantly kill you, and then you'll get respawned wherever you would normally get respawned. However, we know there is one way to work around this. So as you can see in this visual, I've made a gigantic yellow border around the track, because it is possible, technically, to get onto this border, and then you could drive the entire perimeter of the track out of bounds. So, the only real challenges left in finding an Ultra Shortcut is finding a way to get onto this yellow seam from within the first checkpoint region, and then getting back in bounds behind the last checkpoint region, so you can trick the game into getting the lap count, and then finally, having it save a little bit of time. So now, I'm going to go into a couple of ideas that I've come up with on how we might actually get the Ultra Shortcut to work. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and explain two ideas I have for how you might be able to clip from the first checkpoint region onto the yellow out-of-bounds seam. Any idea involving clipping onto the yellow seam first and then grazing the first checkpoint region is highly unlikely, just due to how far away that seam is from the first checkpoint region. Now, the first idea I had is clipping inside of this wall, similar to the fence in Moo Meadows. However, this is unlikely just due to the fact that you're clipping parallel to the seam you're trying to land on, and there's quite a bit of horizontal distance you need to cover in between that. The second idea I had, and the much more likely idea, is using this mushroom, which has a hitbox that actually extends a little bit out of bounds. And because of it being a little bit diagonal, you can actually clip off of it at a different angle, which would make crossing the horizontal distance a little bit easier, as well as the vertical distance not being too hard either. So, that's how you could get onto the yellow seam. Now I'm going to cover ideas of how you might be able to get back in bounds. Okay, so as you can see by the collision map, there are actually a few areas close enough to this out-of-bounds seam that it might be possible to simply hop back in bounds. However, there's only really one close enough to the start line that it has any chance of saving any time, and it's the edge of this last U-turn of the track right here. Now, that's pretty much it for the explanation. However, I think I'm going to go ahead and show a hypothetical example of what this Ultra Shortcut might look like. So first, get out of bounds from the area I pointed out earlier, drive the entire perimeter of the track, then clip from inside of that wall using the second mushroom, and then ride along the out-of-bounds seam all the way around. And then finally, hop off of that out of bounds seam, back in bounds, and finish the lap normally, possibly using the last mushroom to get a little bit more distance to get back in bounds. And that would be the Luigi Circuit Ultra Shortcut right there. Okay, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. However, there's one last thing I probably should have shown, which is the fact that this out of bounds plane does have the collision type I was talking about. It's as simple as that, but I just realized I hadn't even shown you that. And it's everywhere on the track. Even right here in the middle, it has this collision type. So if a strategy like barrel rolling was ever found too, where you could barrel roll across this out of bounds plane without it ever counting you out of bounds, you could basically drive the entire race below the track and just get all the lap counts from beneath the track, which I have to say would be a pretty unique shortcut. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with more Ultra Shortcut theories and glitch discovery.